Hey, Riddle here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you're a subscriber, I appreciate it. I haven't posted much in the last couple months because we just made a big move onto a new property. I wanted to show you some things because people who don't garden, or people who don't spend any time out in nature, they may see climate change as this dramatic event, almost mythical, hypothetical reality. When in actuality, not only is it happening, but it's happening right in front of our eyes. And if you don't garden or you don't spend time in nature, especially if you haven't done this regularly like I have for decades, living off the land and gardening and spending so much time in the forests, you wouldn't even notice. It just remains this news event. And when things are a news event, you know, it's entertainment almost. It's something on TV that you're removed from, and so you don't really feel affected by it. But I am telling you right now, climate change, global warming, is a lot more advanced than what they're sharing with us. And the most serious effects from a human perspective is going to be that plants and animals cannot adapt quickly enough to sustain the human population in regards to food and water. Partially, people always say there's plenty of this and plenty of that, and there's been other, times that the earth has come back just fine, blah, 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 blah. But what people don't quantify into that formula of natural reserves while they're trying to comfort themselves into inaction is that we have removed a lot of those natural buffers. You can look at the forests and say, oh yeah, well, there's supposed to be forest fires to burn out X amount and create this or that. Well, yeah, that was when the lands were majority forest. But now, because of humans, we've isolated patches of forests and knocked out the majority. So now what's left of our forests are fragile and are they're not enough. They're not enough to take on natural occurrences in regards to disease, insects, and fires, because we no longer have a buffer. So suddenly it's all become precious. Now, why am I focused on this? Daffodils. Beautiful, right? A beautiful spring flower. Usually comes up in, I don't know, depending where you are in the country. I want to say conservatively March or April. April showers bring May flowers. Well, the only problem is it's November. It's November and the daffodils are blooming here, which is not normal and not natural. I want to show you something else that's very, very disturbing. We have a giant fruit orchard. One of the things that many people also don't know is that in order for many of your stone fruits, pears, apples, etc., to make fruit, they have to have so many days of cold, so many days of a temperature below 40 degrees, sometimes colder than that, a freeze. So as the world gets warmer and we have less and less days of cold in the wintertime, this is going to threaten huge crops of fruits around the world, but especially in places where they grow the majority peaches and apples and what have you. So why am I walking out to the fruit orchard right now? It's because, as I said, it's a couple days before Thanksgiving. Buds. This fruit tree is going to bloom. That is not normal. Now, yeah, sometimes closer to springtime, we've had occurrences where the weather warmed up and things will bud and then you have a frost, and that year you're not going to have fruit. But to see a plum tree getting ready to flower in mid to late November is not a good sign. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if our temperatures are going to stay warm enough that the bees are going to pollinate this and it's going to form fruit, and I'm going to have plums in springtime instead of summertime, or if it's going to flower and then, well, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that this isn't normal and it's not good. And that's climate change happening in our own backyards, right in our own backyards.